Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm here to bring you a video tonight, and I'm going to do an Easter video. I got two cards and a little treat box to show you with the Easter Friends set that is in the mini catalog that is good until June. So I forgot to do one thing, so while I am doing that, I'll keep talking, but I'm going to go out of screen for a second. But anyway, I would like to tell you that tomorrow, if you're on here and you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to see the new PDF of the new catalog that'll be coming out in May, which is real exciting. So we'll know the in colors, we'll know what's coming new. You'll also get the last chance sale coming out that'll show everything that's being retired that you can order while supplies last, is how that is going to be. So I want to make sure that you know that. I am pulling up my Facebook on my iPad so I can make sure I have you in focus. I usually already have that done, but since I don't, I'm just going to pull it up now. And right here it is. So we should be doing good. So anyway, I also want to tell you that shipping rates are going up on April 1st, which means our standard shipping is $6.95 or 10% of your order, whichever one is greater. So it is going up April 1st to $7.95, and then what used to be $6.95 and 10% or 10% of your sales, now it is $7.95 or 11% of your sales. So it's a little bit of an increase, not bad, but due to all the other increases in the world today, this is what we have to deal with. So, you know, we got to just grin and bear it. But what I thought I would tell you is, I know a lot of you will be waiting for the new catalog to come out, but if you have things that you might want to stock up on, whether it's your favorite color cardstocks, whatever, stuff out of the last chance sale that'll be coming out tomorrow for you. You know, dimensionals, glue, anything like that that you use from Stampin' Up that you might want to get. You might want to place an order by the end of March so you can get the extra little savings on what the shipping will be going up to. So I just wanted to let you know that. And let's see here, what else? We have still have the 20% off sale off of the mini Stamp and Emboss machine, which I know is going to go up in price in the new catalog. And there's like 13 bundles. Now, I will tell you, when the last chance sale goes, if it says like a bundle is being discontinued, look and make sure that the stamp set and if it's a die or a punch that goes with it are being discontinued, because our bundles every year get separated. They only bundle for like 1 year, and then they usually unbundle unless they've kept one or two like that, but not many. So what you would want to do is either order that bundle if that's what you wanted, or just make sure that the stamp set and the die or punch that you are staying in the catalog, because when it says bundle, that means that it's just that they might be just undoing the bundle. And then you'll see the stamp set, and you won't see the stamp set and the die or that in that last chance sale if it's going to be carried over to the new catalog. It's just the bundle price will be gone. So I just wanted to let you know that. I hope it doesn't confuse you with me saying all that, but I do want to let you know, because I got caught up in that before, thinking that they were going to be, that when I looked at the bundle, I thought it was just going to be gone, and then I found out differently. This was a long time ago, and I've learned differently, so I just want to pass that on to you. I am going to turn my camera now, and as I do that, if you guys wouldn't mind to maybe share my video or give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it while we transfer to trying to get that in focus just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So here's all my information, and I surely see. There we go. There we go. I got my light shining a little bit better. It's in the evening here, so it's going to be getting dark. Okay, here's what I'm going to be using, okay? Here's all of my information. This is my March host code. If you don't have a demonstrator and would like to order something, that's my host code. With my online store up here, ritaholmes.stampinup.net. My Facebook group where you can go and get all the PDFs, and I have PDFs for each of the things we are going to be making today. So I will show you those in just a minute. But we are going to be using this stamp set and this stamp set only, and I think I used every stamp in here by the time we get all 3 projects done. Let me show you the projects that we are going to do, and we'll get started. First of all, we're going to make this little Easter card. And this tag is done. It's kind of in the catalog. It's not in the same colors and that, but it showcases in the stamp set. And when you open this up, you have the little chick, and it says, "Happy Easter, sending warm and happy wishes this spring." And so I'm going to show you how to make this little card. Then I have a fun little duck card right here. And it's like, "Happy Easter, my friend." And says, "May your days bloom with joy and happiness." I got that a little crooked, but that's okay. It's a sample. And so I'm going to be making this quick little card with you. And then we are going to make this treat box. And this treat box, actually, I saw Lisa Freeman make it. And I love the size of her box to put candy in and that. So I thought I would redo it, and I got it done in different colors and stuff. It's basically the same way she did it. But I thought I would make one and show to the people that watch me. So there we go, and I'm going to move this out of the way. I hope if you needed it and got a screenshot of it that you did. If not, you can always ask me in the comments. But we are going to get started, and we are going to start with the easiest card first, which happens to be this. I will show you the die that we used on that card is, I got all these dies laying over here, man. I went die crazy, I think, on the cards. I used the stitched rectangles, and I used the 4th one from the center, which is this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So that's what I used to cut out my rectangle for my little duck, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to fold my card in half. It's 5.5 by 8.5. Fold it in half, scored. And then what I'm going to do, and this is going to be before I get this all put together, and it doesn't go on this card, it goes on this, which is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. This will be laying across here with my little die thing here. So what I want to do is I want to get this yellow around the back side of this, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm kind of just placing this where I think I'm going to want it with my paper right here, and I'm going to take a pencil, and I am just going to make a little dot and make a little dot up here. I don't want to get on that paper though. So I kind of made it underneath there. And I have my 2 dots. We're going to put this on a piece of scrap paper, and I just had one out today right here, so we're good enough. We are going to take the So Saffron ink with the blending brush. And I've got my yellow blending brush right here. We're going to take that, and I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. Start off of my paper, because I just want this to be lightly, and I'm just making sure I go over where I've got these stitch lines, okay? Or little, they're not stitch lines, they're actually just little marker lines, I guess you could call them. And then when I put my card back on there, See if that looks good enough. I want just a little bit more. And I want it over in here and up there a little bit. Just a little bit. So we have that. Now I don't have to really worry about erasing those marks, because what I can do is my piece of this is cover that, and then I'll just put this just up a little tiny bit to where it covers that mark. If you want to erase it, just take a white eraser and make it lighter. It'll make it a little lighter. The ink kind of seals that in a little bit. So, or you could take a ink eraser, the stone eraser, but then you're going to erase some of your ink. So I'm going to go ahead while we've got this, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this. My glue is sitting all the way across the table. Don't ask me why. Because I used it this morning, but I was sitting in this chair, so. And I don't know if my glue is going to work. What do you think? I try to use it down to the bare minimum of glue. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add this right above those little lines that I marked on there so that you don't see them. And I'm going to set that to the side and let it dry while we do our duck. So I'm going to be putting my duck on this, and he must still be in the little, he is, he's right here. Let's get him out. And we are going to just put him on a block. We're going to stamp him in crumb cake. I stamped him in yellow, made him too bright to me. I liked the yellow. I like the crumb cake better than the yellow. So we're going to just ink him up. And then I'm going to take and this morning I got him a little off center, and I'm going to stamp him a little higher. I hope I stamped him high enough. I'm not real sure. And since I'm not real sure, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my friend underneath of it. Make sure I have this on here kind of straight. Does everybody else have the same problem I do of getting things straight? I think it's my old eyes. And I'm going to stamp this at the bottom. Okay, we have that stamped. So now we can take the grass. Let's shut this for a minute. Well, actually, while we have it open, let's go ahead and bring this back in. And we're going to stamp our Happy Easter up here. And we'll have the front part of the card done with all that. And there we go with that. We've got that part done for a few. We have a hot mess over here is what we have. My video, I will tell you, my video is going to be longer than it usually is because I'm doing 3 different projects tonight. So I'm sorry that I'm not keeping that real short and sweet for you, but I just wanted to do all 3 projects because Easter's coming. And so we want to see them. So we're going to set this back over to the side. We are going to color him. We are using light and dark So Saffron, light pumpkin pie, and Wink of Stella. But before we do that, we're going to put our grass on here. And I'm using Pear Pizzazz for my grass. So we're just going to put some at his feet. And then we're going to stamp off over here. And then I'm going to ink up and stamp off on this side. That one, I didn't, there we go. Grassy grass. So now we are going to color our little duck. And he's the cutest little duck. Let me take, and we're going to do his little feet first. If I can, I'm going to do the big side. Last night when I opened this, I had a lot of the, like, alcohol stuff in that little side. And of course you can kind of get that out of there. But I'm not going to chance it tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and use the big side. I can color with either side, usually. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a few. I'm going to go back over it in a few minutes. But right now, I'm going to take my dark So Saffron, and where all of the dark areas are, I'm just going to add some of this. I'm not going to be real solid with it. I just want to highlight his, or darken his shade spots. Okay. Make sure we get them really dark. Then I'm going to bring in the light So Saffron, and I'm just going to color. Try not to get outside the lines. This is my second set of the light and dark saffron. I use these colors all the time. And I hope they don't get rid of this color out of the Stampin' Blends, because they have gotten rid of colors before. And I don't really like that. Now I'm going to come back in with my... The dark was too dark, so I just thought I'd put 2 coats of the light on for my beak and my little duck feet, because little duck feet are so cute. So I'm going to add that. Take my dark one more time, and I'm just going to highlight right around that in the center there. And I did not get to the tip of this wing, so let's do that. Make sure I got my wing tips done. Okay, that is our little duck is colored. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to brush that on the whole duck, because I want to give him some shimmer, because that is really cute. He's a shimmering duck. There we go. So he is all done. Now we're going to get ready and put our card together. I brought in the pale papaya. I thought that went real well with my colors, because it's kind of a light, real pale orangey color, which kind of helps go with the beak, and gives a little contrast to the yellow that it doesn't match. And I'm going to go ahead and use probably about 18 inches or so, maybe even more than that, I just guess. And so what I'm going to do is I want to put this on my card before I don't need that anymore. I'm going to get that dirty piece of paper out of our way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here, kind of centered. I'm just going to match these over here, kind of centered also. Just have my ribbon centered here. And since it's not going to show, we're going to put that rectangle there. I'm holding my finger here. It's going to give me kind of a guideline. I'm just going to put a little bit of snail in there, because that is going to hold this ribbon down. And I did that this morning when I did this video. I kind of went downward with it. Crazy. Okay, and so now what I'll do is line these two ribbons up and flip it over on its back. And I am going to do the same back here. And the reason being, it's going to help make it easier to tie that bow with all of this being kind of down to where it's not so floppy. We're going to bring this little guy in. We're going to put some dimensionals on it, and I know I have them because I brought them in here earlier today. I'll probably set something on top of them. How about that? I have too much stuff on my table, let me tell you. And they're right under my ink pad. That's a good place for them, isn't it? Under the ink pad. So I'm just going to put, I use 5. I put one on each corner and then one in the center to kind of hold my center up. So let's take that apart. This is a really cute little quick Easter card. You don't have to make it Easter to make a cute baby card. I want to make sure I cover this little spot up, so I'm turning it to where I can see and put that just above that spot. Like so. Actually, he's a little crooked up there. We'll see if I can snap him off. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Undo this corner. Let's see if I got it. And you always get one that wants to stick more than any of the others. There we go, and now we're just going to tie our bow. So what I'm going to do is just, tying bows are not the easiest thing to do, I know. But sometimes I like a bow, sometimes I like a knot. Sometimes I want a bow and I get frustrated and I do a knot. So I don't think it matters in the big scheme of things. Just a personal preference on your part maybe. And see, I pulled on the wrong ribbon. Mine might be a knot tonight. It was a bow that earlier today when I did my Facebook Live. But maybe I won't get a bow tonight. I don't know. I have such big fingers that I was not a, why in the world can't I do that? That's frustrating. But I know I am not the only one struggling with making a bow. Or has struggled with making a bow. Now I'm going to see if I can get this around here a little bit better and get a hold of it. I think I did it. I didn't do it that time either. But I'm bound and determined, ladies. Ah. There you go. We got it. So now let's make it as big as you want or as little as you want. Trim your little streamers. And then what I do this with all of my bows just about, is I take a glue dot with a little pick tool or whatever, and I'll take and put that right in under where that bow is, and that way it keeps that bow in place. Okay? Now that you saw me fight with it and everything else. So now I'm going to put this on a piece of crumb cake, which is 5 1/4 by 4. It'll leave like a 1/16 inch edge all the way around it. I usually don't do a lot of Easter cards, the little cutesy Easter cards. I do more of like the inspirational religious type cards because I really, really like those at Easter time. But I thought these ducks and these bunnies were just too cute, so I had to do them. Now I'm going to just add this to... Bound and determined to get all the glue out of this. So we're just going to add this to the front of the card. As I scoot that over just a little bit too much. There we go. I think we're good. I'm going to turn that over real quick and just kind of give it a quick rub. And I am going to take, what saying did I put in that? Okay, I am going to take this saying right here. It says, "May your days bloom with joy and happiness." And I'm going to put that little sentiment right on the inside with my crumb cake. And because I wanted this more in pastel colors and soft, I did not use any black ink on it to bring it out. I just wanted it really a soft card. So there we go. That is our little duck card. I call him the little duck. I don't really know what he is. Well, I know he's a duck. Doesn't look like a chick. So I'm going to clean those stamps real quick because I'm using so many. I'm running out of blocks. So I can put these in here. And I can actually put my little duck on here because we're going to be using him. So that's done. We're going to bring in our next card. Our next card is this card right here. Oh, goodness. Our next card is this one right here. And it just opens. It's got a little different fold to it. I'm going to tell you what to cut your cardstock and where to score at for that. So I'm just moving stuff out of my way for a minute, so I can bring all of the stuff in for that. So we'll go as we start. This is 5.5 by 8.5. It's your regular standard piece of cardstock for a card, but you're going to score it at 3.5 and fold that over. And that's going to leave you a 1.5 inch piece right here to add your piece of DSP, which I'm going to do right now. So you're just going to add that into your card. Press that down. And then I've got a piece of 5.5 by 3.5 piece of same color cardstock, soft succulent. I ran it through the stitched, let me find it, the stitched Greenery die, which is this one right here. And all it does is kind of more or less embosses it like stitch marks. And I'm going to add that to the front. I really like this. It's really cute with flowered cards and different things, but I thought it made a nice little subtle background for this card right here. And I did it to kind of match what my treat box is going to be. So what I did is I actually unfold that and I butt this up against that score line. And if I need to, I can always trim the edges off of the other three sides. But that's how I get it to And did you know what I did? Of course I did. I do it every time I do a YouTube video. I stuck it in the glue. But you all know how much I like my glue eraser, so if you've ever watched me, you've seen me use it a lot. Okay. That was a lot of glue. Might have came out of the back a little bit too when I squished it down there. Okay, feels good. So we've got this now. Now I went ahead and I cut out a tag out of the tailored tags. Let me get those out and show you which one I used. The tags are made with this biggest tag with the squared edge right here. This one is what I cut for this and for the box that we're doing there, because I made them to kind of match and go together. So we did that. And then my circle here is the second largest circle, which would be this one right here, because that's the first one. This is the second one. And that's what my circle is cut out of. So what I'm going to do though, because, and then this is a 3/4 inch by 3 inch piece of fresh freesia that we are going to cut this out right here. So what I'm going to do right now, because we are doing the basket or the little bag right here that has the exact same tag on it, I am going to bring in my piece of paper again, and I'm going to lay these on here, and I'm going to stamp all of this at the same time, okay? Actually, I'm going to put this down here, do these first. So let's do the little tags, and what I did is I used the grass, and I used Mossy Meadow because I wanted something dark at the bottom. And if you watch Lisa Freeman's video, she kind of, when she did the grass, she would put it down and then just move it all around to make it look like there was grass higher in the background. While I have this out too, for my card, down here I'm going to be adding grass for my little chicks. So I'm going to go ahead and add my grass, and I'm going to do 2 pieces together like that. So we're done with the grass, done with the green. Hopefully, if I didn't forget anything. Don't hold me to that because I'm notorious of forgetting stuff. And now I lost my, right here it is. I don't want this green ink all over the place. Does everybody use a chamois to clean their stamps? I keep mine in a stamp case, and it's pretty well used. I just rinse it out to make it moist again when it's time. It works really well for me. I enjoy using that, so you could see me with that quite often. Okay, let's go ahead with this. We're going to go ahead and do our chick, since we can get that out of the way until we bring in the to do our sentiments. So I'm just going to ink him up and put him right between this grass, like he's walking in it. So that's all we do with him. And he's not going to go on the little treat box, so we're done with him. Which is good. Now, I usually don't put my stamps away while I'm doing this, but since I got every one of them out, I wanted to go ahead and get them put away. I'm going to bring these 2 circles back in. I'm going to bring the bunny in, and the bunny's very cute. It's right here. And we're going to use crumb cake. And we're going to stamp the bunny on each one of these. So let's go ahead and do that. And it doesn't matter if you get how much of him you get on there. As long as you get his face and stuff on there, you're doing really good. You know, you can have it higher, you can have it lower. You can notice my two are not in the same place because his little paws are here and they're right at the end over there. But that's okay. That is just fine. I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of fresh freesia. I'm going to stamp my Happy Easter. I'm going to let these dry for a second because we're going to go around them with fresh freesia ink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp these in the meantime, and I'm going to stamp to my far left. And I'm going to turn it over and stamp again because I pressed too hard and got ink at the top. So let's see if I can do it again. There we go. Didn't get so carried away, which I do a lot. I did on that one too. I'm going to clean it. I inked some of my ink pads, so they're a little bit juicier than what I really want them, but that's okay. And I am such a heavy-handed stamper that it's crazy. But that's what I do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and while that's drying for a second, I'll bring this back in. And I am going to go ahead and stamp the saying that's going to go on the inside of this card, which says, "Sending warm and happy wishes this spring." So we're going to stamp that right at the top. And I didn't mess that up. I did good. Yay, yay me. Okay. Once we get this card done, we don't have hardly anything at all to do on our box, except for to show you how to put the box together. I'll go ahead and put this in here out of the way. Then we'll get back to that tag. This is 3.5 by 5.5. Okay, let's get to our tags now. Let's take these and we're just going to cut out a little V down here. I like to do this with my tailored tag punch, but I let someone borrow it and I haven't gotten it back yet. So I need to do that before I lose it. Okay, we're going to take the fresh freesia blending brush and we're going to take the fresh freesia ink and we're just going to put some ink around these. It kind of highlights them a little better. So let's just, and we're going off and I'm just going to go around the edges. I don't have to go real dark. Sometimes I have to watch myself because I will get it too dark. There's that one. Now we're going to do this one. And always start off of your edge of your paper so you don't get a big round blotchy spot like where I kind of did there where I had too much ink still left on it. And pressing too hard. And just put my finger in it too. Okay. Wipe my hand on my pants. Do y'all do that? We shouldn't, but we do. And that's okay. Okay, we're done stamping. So we're going to put these together. And we're going to put both tags together at the same time. We're just going to add a little bit of glue where our circle's going to go. And put that up there. And put it kind of higher because your banner's going to go down here. And then what you're going to do, whoops. He's slipping on me. There we go. Turn him over and rub him. You just don't want to put glue on the circle because you don't want it back here because, well, the tag on your bag will be kind of floaty, so you don't want it to do that. Now we are going to take dimensionals. We're going to put 2 dimensionals down here towards the bottom of our bunny. We'll do that on each one of these. And if you were making a lot of these, you could take and do what I'm doing here with these two. Just kind of assembly line what you're doing. We're going to just angle that a little bit. Angle this one. And now we're ready to put one on our card. I think we'll put this one on our card. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to use dimensionals on it. Used a lot of dimensionals on this stuff. But I like dimensionals. I like things to have a little bit of dimension to them. I think it adds a lot of character. We're going to add that right here on our card. Whoops, got a little one of the dots in there. And I'm going to take my Fresh Freezer ribbon. And I'm trying to use up some of my in color ribbon that I had bought. That's why I'm doing this. But I like it really well too. And so I'm going to make a bow. My hands are so cold. That's probably not helping me any either. They got cold this afternoon and I don't think they've ever warmed up. So what I'm doing is just making my bow. Pulling it tight and then bringing it down to where I don't want my loops so big. I'm going to trim it. And I'm going to take and put 2 glue dots on it. One to each, kind of each side of the knot, but at the knot also. And then I will just put that up here on my card. Well, I stuck it down with my glue dot. Didn't want to do that. Just want my glue dot to stick. There we go. There we go, and that is our card. That is our little card. Isn't it cute? You could color your bunny and stuff if you wanted to, but I think he's cute, just not even colored. So we finished those. Now let's do the box, which is this right here. And all I'm gonna do is show you we've got everything stamped and ready to go for it, so we don't have to do that. So let me show you what you need for that. It's really simple. This is a 7 1/4 by 11 inch piece of soft succulent cardstock. And we are going to use the scoreboard because I like to use my scoreboard. And we are going to score at 1/4 inch, or let me rephrase that, it's a 1/2 inch, 3 3/4 inch, 5 3/4 inch, and 9 inches. That was across the 11 inch, with the 11 inches being across the top. Now we're going to turn it where the 7 1/4 inches across the top, and we're going to score it at 2 inches. And that's all the scoring we have to do. Get my scoreboard out of the way. Whoops. Nicked my wall up. So we've got this score line down here. This is going to be the bottom of our box, the flaps. And I'm going to cut this little edge. I don't know if you can see it better this way. This little edge right here off. I'm going to go up to the 2-inch scored line. And just cut that right off. We don't need it. And then I'm going to take these other 3 marks and I'm going to cut those up to the score line. That's the 2-inch score line we're cutting it up to. This is going to make the bottom of our box. So there we go. So I'm going to turn it back over. I just did that because these are raised and I can see them better to cut. And now I'm going to turn it back over. And here's our edge without the little 1/2 inch edge. It's our solid 2-inch edge right here. And I am going to put my DSP in this first big section over here. Okay. It's at the side that doesn't have this cut off. So this is a 3x5 piece of cardstock or a piece of DSP. And I'm going to add that to my front. And I'm adding it before I do my box. It's just easier to do it before you do this little bag or box, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to fold each edge, each score line. And I'm scoring each one of these over really well. And I'm right here at my little 1/2 inch one, and I'm going to take and turn that in and score that really good. Then I'm going to take and I'm just going to pull all these up at their score line, like so. I kind of hold them down. And I just go across and score those really good. Okay, that's the bottom of our box. Because when it's all folded, it's going to go like this. Okay, that will be our box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take and glue that, so I want to make sure that is really down good. You can also use your tape runner, your Stampin' Seal, whatever you want to use. I've got glue on that, and then I'm going to fold this. It's going to fold in half, and I'm going to line that up. They should line up just fine. And that is your box folded in half. I burnished that to make sure that that is really solid in there where I've got that glued. Now, since this is the front of our box and this is the back, I want this flap to go like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in my 2 little flaps. See that? The back flap will go like this, and then the front flap's going to get glued here. Okay, so I'm going to take that front flap and I'm going to add some glue. And I want it to be really good and sticky on there. So, and I'm going to turn it up. Stick on this, you can stick your hand down in there and kind of press on that. Put your fingers and just make sure that glue is really, you can use your tape runner. So that makes a good sturdy box. So there's our box. Now we got to put holes in it for our ribbon. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a hole punch the size like that, like they used to, but I brought in my crocodile. I have had this crocodile for probably 17, 18 years maybe. But I like this tool because it makes hole punches, you know. It does snaps and stuff here. It makes hole punches here, which I don't use the snaps anymore, but I do use my hole punch. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put your fingers and kind of just press in on your box and then kind of squeeze it right where that all goes together, where these ends right here go in. You just want to squeeze that, and you see where there are. I'm going to put my little holes right. I don't want to cut those, so what I do is like put my finger right here close to that. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to just make a punch. Then I'm going to bring it in over here, and I'm going to do the same thing because it ends about right here where my thumb is. And I'm going to punch it. If your holes are not even on your, one's up a little higher than the other, that's not going to make a big amount to anything when you're putting this together. So now what I'm going to do is we're almost done. I'm going to fill it with some Easter grass. They didn't have like green, garden green Easter grass. They had granny apple green Easter grass. It's even brighter than, and I just wad it up in a ball to try to get it in here without it wanting to go every which way. Pick up my little scraps of it, throw that in there. Okay, then I'm going to bring in, and I got some in a little thing here. It holds about, I've got these little miniature candies. I just bought a bag of them at Walmart, a big bag, and I'm just going to put that in there. It holds like 7 or 8 candies, really nice. And then I'm ready to close that shut. I'm going to bring my fresh freesia back in, and I'm going to cut here again about 16, 18 inches, something like that. I want to make sure I have enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to thread these through this hole, these holes. I'm going to go from the front to the back and then bring this back to the front. Because all I'm going to do is kind of even them up. Can't get my ribbons even. There we go. That should be good. And you'll see how that's open right there. And I'm just going to tie a knot, because I'm going to tie a bow and just tie that shut. So let's just get this going. See if I can get a hold of it this time. There we go. And I am going to leave enough of a tail so if they do untie this, they can tie it back. Because there's nothing like if they want to tie it back. Let's put it that way. If you give this to someone. Okay, all we got to do is put our tag on. Here's our tag. I took some white baker's twine. You don't need very much, 4 or 5 inches, something like that. And what I'm going to do, and I'm laying this down to show you, is I'm going to pull up on this bow a little bit and just put that under there and then around this bow so that it doesn't show from the top. Okay, I'm going to lay it down so you can see what I'm doing. Then I'll just take a piece of this and I'll run one piece through bring it up through the hole, bring the other piece, and I'm going to tie that in a knot, okay? Okay, I got that tied in a knot. I'm going to cut off these little tails right here. I'm going to cut them pretty short. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this in, pull that little knot to the back of my tag. And then there is our little ribbon and our tag. And see, the tag is kind of, and you could put a dimensional in there if you want to hold it down, or if you want to just let it kind of swing. They can just pull this, open it up, and there they have some candy for Easter. Isn't that cute? Very easy to do. Now, all of my PDFs are over on my Facebook page. Here's the one for the duck. Tells you everything you need, how to do it. Same way with the card, and same way with the box. It has all the measurements and everything on that, so that you have how to cut it and all that. And then you have the video to refer to if you need it. So there are the PDFs that you are more than welcome to go join my Facebook group and then take those PDFs off of there. I have PDFs for all the cards I make. I put a PDF over there. There are tons and tons. I've been doing videos 2 years this month. So you take that 12 months, you know, well, I've done more than that because there's 4 videos at least. And then by 12, that's 48. So, but I think I have more than that. I think I have about 150 PDFs over there. You are more than welcome to go grab them. Remember, if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in that, I would love to have you be a customer. If you would like to join Stampin' Up!, I'd love to have you on my team. So you can always let me know about that. And don't forget, tomorrow that last chance sale goes on, and it won't be on until in the afternoon. So be looking for that. I know it's going to be posted everywhere. There's a lot of demonstrators, so it'll be posted everywhere for you to see. I will have it on my Facebook page and on my my Facebook group and my stamp Facebook page, because one's a business page, which is Stamp Crazy by Rita Holmes, which is the same thing as my YouTube, and then Stamp Crazy VIP is my Facebook group. So you all have a nice time until I see you again, and I'm hoping to be able to come back, the end of the week. I have another video that I'm going to try to put together. So until then, I will talk to you later, and you all have a great day. Bye.